The end is slowly moving nearer, and there is no spot to hide away any longer. What we hugely fear has finally happened, abandoning and resulting in a breakdown of our world, not long before our eyes. The glimmering red supergiant star, Betelgeuse, has finally exploded. The long-expected, inestimable blast has spread out, compromising the steadfastness of our environment and revealing the appearance of a surprising sunrise for humankind. What confirmation did specialists uncover that made them appear at this assurance? How breathtaking would Betelgeuse shimmer in the night sky if it explodes? Might this impact ever lead to the annihilation of our planet? Come with us in the current video as we research the erratic nuances of the creepy-crawly's juice that just exploded. What's more, something disturbing is happening. For many years now, Betelgeuse has maintained its dazzling superbness in the night sky, stunning onlookers from Earth. Perhaps the red supergiant star does sorcery with its engaging look that draws everyone in. Betelgeuse is an unquestionable member of the top-notch relationship of stars that shimmer wonderfully enough for us to see. Organized in the constellation of Orion, this red supergiant star is the 10th most luminous star in the night sky. It allows everyone to see the esteem in its blushing orange assortment. One beguiling feature about Betelgeuse is that it is one of the 3 stars that make up the winter triangle asterism and marks the focal point of the winter hexagon. What this means is that from the very beginning of January, reliably, Betelgeuse should be visible climbing in the east before long dusk. Once it gets to mid-September, it's clear to basically every inhabited region on the planet except for Antarctica. So on a typical day, once light bids goodbye to the Earth and the night's darkness sets in, spotting Betelgeuse is possible among the assortment of stars that enliven the sky. In spite of the fact that Betelgeuse is recognizable to the untrained eye, the star is wearing a thick cover of mystery. Scientists are engaged coincidentally that this captivating star contrasts in quality, and this capriciousness has stayed with it as long as we can remember. This intriguing characteristic absolutely stood out to the point of being noted by experts. Moreover, it compelled them to put on their thinking caps. Toward the day's end, they concocted explanations for this one-of-a-kind eccentricity. Unexpectedly, the red beast's contrasting quality can be traced to its colossal size. Betelgeuse isn't your standard star, as it outstrips its companions concerning gauge. For instance, if we were to supersede our Sun with Betelgeuse, this amazing star would reach out to the asteroid belt and have a mass that is on numerous occasions that of the Sun. Astounding, isn't it? As empowering as this reality sounds, it is nothing compared to its other spectacular components. When specialists analyzed Betelgeuse further, they were past shocked to observe that it was a young star, with an age estimated to be between 8 and 10 million years. It took some time before the reality of the star's age sank into the minds of cosmologists. This is in light of the fact that they were guessing that the star ought to be significantly more settled given its marvelous properties compared to our Sun, which makes some normal age of 4.6 billion years. Betelgeuse is a baby star. In spite of the way that our Sun outpaces Betelgeuse in age, the red supergiant makes up for this in various areas. Moreover, specialists have made us sort out the reason for Betelgeuse's huge size and magnificence. From research, it was viewed that supergiant stars like Betelgeuse burn through their nuclear fuel rapidly and consume no time before going supernova. This implies stars like this grow rapidly, and from the little we have had the chance to figure out from evident texts, it is clear that Betelgeuse's development happened right before humanity's eyes. Betelgeuse's mesmerizing story began long before anyone alive on Earth today was born. Some method for sorting out how scientists arrived at the goal that the red beast star has exploded, we want to start all along, basically from the beginning that we are mindful of in this stimulating journey. We would journey from putting down to the bits of evidence that analysts have uncovered recently to spread out a particular image of what is in question. This captivating story began in the 2nd century BC, when Chinese astronomers incidentally tracked down a discovery that had them smiling under the full fascination of the marvelous night sky. They had seen an unquestionable-looking star known as Betelgeuse, which was described by a yellow color. If we decide to skip a couple of scenes to the following critical moment, it would lead us to the focal point of the 2nd century, when Greco-Roman stargazers became enchanted by the charming looks of Betelgeuse and described it as orangish or ruddy. Observers in the Middle East had seen a similar hint at this crossing point. The question mixing on everyone's mind is how tones were named differently in the past. However, we shouldn't fail to remember that there is a genuine chance that Betelgeuse went through a color change several hundred years ago. Additionally, the Chinese astronomers could have seen Betelgeuse during its yellow supergiant stage. As years changed into numerous years and centuries into many centuries, it is possible that the star changed into the red supergiant stage that we know today. Another crucial component about Betelgeuse is that it is a variable star, as it seems to change in accordance with some cyclic approach to acting. For instance, in December 2019, scientists found with plate shock that Betelgeuse's brightness had diminished widely. Investigators demonstrated incapable, with the exception of their eyes, as their frontal cortexes went into an optimal timing state, trying to search for possible answers for the remarkable event across the globe. The people who were accustomed to checking out the star could see that its brightness had plunged alarmingly, birthing different contemplations among them. This pitiable event gave rise to the rumor that something uncommon had happened to the star in its constellation, Orion. In any case, the story soon took a sharp turn, yet a positive one. By mid-2020, the star had returned to normalcy, as its splendor now mirrored its past significance. It is charming to observe that this change didn't happen right away. It was continuous, as stargazers saw that Betelgeuse's splendor was returning to the same old thing with each passing month. As this event unfolded, a couple of scientists prepared a speculation to figure out this extraordinary occasion. According to the speculation, it is accepted that a part of the star's cycles had fit, provoking a significant plunge in brightness. However, when analysts chose to search for the support of the Hubble Space Telescope, HST, in exploring this unique event, the HST made some fascinating but perplexing insights. From what the Hubble telescope revealed, it appeared Betelgeuse had expelled a huge amount of stellar material into space, which incited the development of a massive dust cloud. This dust cloud became a significant factor, as it obstructed a substantial portion of the star's light when viewed from Earth. As expected, this change took everyone's breath away. Nothing had prepared or forewarned us about this event. Imagine the shock of discovering that the 10th most luminous star in the night sky had lost its position and was now situated lower than the 20th most luminous star in the universe. It looked like a horrifying dream that had appeared out of nowhere. Analysts heaved a sigh of relief when Betelgeuse began giving signs of improvement, as the star's brightness started to rise once again. Nonetheless, the strange display didn't burn out. The storm is still far from being finished. From what cosmologists have seen up to this point, the star is currently exhibiting behavior that is significantly more perplexing than simply dimming. Recently, researchers have been astonished by a genuinely alarming behavior. Betelgeuse shows a method of acting that has been a source of stress for the scientific community. Everyone is examining the fact that Betelgeuse's brightness has not only increased but has surged beyond its normal levels. The plunging brightness was no longer an issue. Now we were facing a much more significant and threatening dilemma. The star's luminosity had extended past the expected range, prompting gasps from experts. They watched as Betelgeuse's brightness continued to augment until it obscured its overall anticipated radiance by over 50%. This astonishing event has caused turmoil in the astronomical community, as both amateur and experienced astronomers scratch their heads in reanalyzing the data released. They have been working tirelessly to search for a possible explanation for these unusual occurrences that have unfolded right before us. In a bid to conclude the justification for this situation, analysts believe that the dimming events could be the handiwork of dust or related cycles. Another hypothesis that has risen from the shadows of this disturbing issue is that the star might have created massive sunspots. Ultimately, a significant increase in brightness is a different story, one that requires further assessment to unravel the mystery behind it. Yet, a few specialists believe there could be a connection between the two events. They suggest that the increased brightness may be associated with the previous event, and they have constructed a compelling narrative to support their explanations. It is possible that when Betelgeuse expelled material in the dramatic event of 2019, it caused a huge disruption in the star's plasma flow. Consequently, it wouldn't be shocking to observe unusual brightness due to the massive surge in energy. You might be wondering how all of this connects to our current experiences, as this splendid red star is situated so far away. What's more, here's where we will plunge deep into the burning matter of the explosion. As mentioned earlier, Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star, which gives it the opportunity to explode at some point in time. This characteristic is what makes its end so interesting. So, is there a possibility of Betelgeuse exploding? To be honest, scientists believe that it will take a few million years before it reaches this phase. As shocking as it sounds, we shouldn't panic yet, as this explosion will probably not occur within our lifetime. As this explosion draws nearer, there is a possibility that Betelgeuse will begin exhibiting brighter bursts as it approaches its ultimate phase. We would not observe a violent explosion as one might expect from an ordinary explosion. Instead, we would have a sight that resembles a beautiful firework display. We might witness something charming that would take us aback with its beauty. If you think that this event could mean doom for us, you shouldn't worry. Betelgeuse is so distant from us that this explosion, even if it happens, wouldn't put us in any danger. The anticipated blast will probably take place about 600 light-years away, which is a distance that shields us from its effects. The explosion would not compromise our existence on Earth. Instead, it would present a magical sight. For any observer in the vicinity, the explosion would provide a dazzling view for several weeks, perhaps even months, as the brightness would shine brightly and continue to shimmer. In the past, this kind of behavior was observed, as it was documented that Betelgeuse's predecessors have exhibited similar behavior. During its last grand explosion, Betelgeuse will resemble a bright in the night sky for observers, with a brightness similar to a full moon. For those on Earth, this grand event will appear as a captivating light that will create dazzling scenes all around. What do you think of the idea of our world witnessing such a grand event in the night sky?